If you want to know how close a regime is to cracking,
Yeah.
you shouldn't look at their military parades. You should, look at how intensely they're policing their own backyard. So welcome to this deep dive into the week's key security intelligence updates.
Right, and it's a really fascinating contradiction we're looking at today.
Yeah, exactly. We're diving into how major adversaries aggressively project global strength, while at the same time, they're just desperately battling paranoia at home. It's like looking at a massive fortress with impenetrable stone walls.
Right.
But if you listen closely, termites are just eating away at the foundation.
I mean, that termite analogy really gets to the core of it because maintaining that facade is getting incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
You have these regimes spending, massive resources to look invincible to you and me.
Oh, absolutely.
But their internal vulnerabilities are actually the things dictating their geopolitical moves.
Well, let's unpack that, starting with Russia, because the fallout from the Ukraine war is bleeding way past the front lines now.
Yeah.
I mean, Ukrainian drones are striking logistics hubs near St. Petersburg.
Yeah, and not just there. They recently forced these overnight maritime restrictions at Novorossiysk, which, for anyone tracking global supply chains, that is a massive cargo port.
Right.
So when you force restrictions there, Moscow essentially has to scramble. They have to divert precious military air defenses to protect oil and grain exports that are, well, hundreds of miles away from the actual battlefield.
Which seems to be driving the FSB, their internal security, absolutely frantic. I mean, they just announced this incredibly convoluted counter-sabotage case.
Oh, right, the car bomb plot.
Yeah, they detained a woman they claimed traveled through Turkey, Moldova, and Ukraine just to execute a car bomb plot against a Russian security official. And then their crown jewel, right? A fifth-generation Su-57 fighter jet crashes near Moscow.
Yeah, the defense ministry quickly came out and claimed it was just a mechanical malfunction. But Russian nationalist military bloggers strongly suspect their own air defenses accidentally shot it down.
Wait, let me push back on that for a second. Couldn't a string of hits this precise just mean Ukrainian intelligence has, I don't know, deeply penetrated Russian networks? Like, why assume it's friendly fire or just panic?
Well, it's certainly possible Ukraine is that deeply embedded, but the randomness of these arrests points pretty heavily toward a system that's just seeing ghosts.
Right, that makes sense.
I mean, when your own pro-war bloggers automatically assume you shot down your most advanced jet, your domestic security narrative is clearly fracturing.
So, if your own skies are really that vulnerable, what's the play? I guess you distract by exporting chaos elsewhere.
That is exactly the pivot. U.S. intelligence is actually actively investigating if Moscow provided advanced targeting data and drone tech to help Iran strike CIA facilities in Saudi Arabia and Iraq.
See, the tactic they use for this is what completely blows my mind.
The double drone strike.
Yes. They're using a double drone strike, where the first drone crashes into a reinforced facility to just, blast a physical hole, and then a second drone flies immediately through that breach. But how are they doing that with such precision when U.S. facilities are so heavily jammed electronically?
That's where the Russian Kometa-M satellite navigation tech comes in. It's equipped with these highly specialized anti-jamming antennas that basically filter out electronic noise.
Oh, wow. So it cuts right through the jamming?
Exactly. It allows that second drone to just thread the needle right through the breach. And if Russia is crossing a red line by handing that tech over to hit U.S. intelligence targets, well, they're escalating gray zone warfare to a highly dangerous level.
Yeah, those aggressive covert actions hovering just below the threshold of open war.
Right, exactly.
So while Russia's strategy is to export raw military violence to sort of cover its vulnerabilities, China is playing a much more insidious game. They are exporting technological dependence.
Yeah, it's a very different approach.
It's like a mob boss smiling and offering you a free home security system, while simultaneously taking a baseball bat to your neighbor's fence.
That's a great way to put it. The smiling part of that strategy is their massive soft power push. I mean, Beijing is currently pitching a 40-country international alliance against telecom fraud.
Which sounds great on paper.
Right, and they're flooding developing nations with incredibly cheap, open-source AI training. They basically want to be the sole architect of the Global South's digital infrastructure.
But then there's the baseball bat. I mean, the military pressure around Taiwan is escalating with these recent live-fire drills near Dongshan Island. And they're showcasing these PHL-191 long-range rockets that are equipped with airburst munitions.
And that airburst capability is the critical piece of hardware there.
So break that down for us. How does an airburst munition actually blind a Taiwanese radar system?
Well, instead of hitting the ground and exploding, these munitions detonate midair. So they scatter millions of tiny conductive metallic fragments, which creates a massive cloud of chaff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it physically overwhelms and blinds radar sensors and command nodes before a conflict even starts. And because they fire from mobile launchers, tracking them is an absolute nightmare.
So they have this terrifying hardware, but just like Russia, they've got those termites in the foundation.
Okay.
I mean, Xi Jinping just rolled out a brand new military audit ethics code for the People's Liberation Army.
Right. And on the surface, that looks like a crackdown on corruption.
But dig deeper, and it reveals a massive operational vulnerability, doesn't it? Like, this ethics code isn't really about bookkeeping.
No, not at all. It's about enforcing strict political loyalty to Xi amid these huge procurement scandals. It proves that ideological purity, rather than professional competence, is still the central metric for leadership in the PLA.
Which really brings it all together for you listening. Both of these regimes rely on coercion abroad and deeply paranoid political control at home to basically maintain their grip.
Yeah, they project the image of this impenetrable fortress, but competence is constantly taking a backseat to compliance.
Which leaves us with this final thought to mull over. If political loyalty and ideological purity remain the absolute requirements for military leadership in these countries, how badly does that blind their ability to make objective strategic decisions when a real, unexpected crisis hits?
That's the big question.
Exactly. Does the fortress hold, or does it just crumble?